Canada's time in Qatar has come and gone. The team going 0-3. Duncan, how would you rate Canada's performance at its first World Cup in 36 years?
Well, exactly, because it's its first World Cup in 36 years, you don't want to be too harsh on them, but they had 3 exams and they failed all 3 of them. So normally you would say an F, I guess, but because it is growing pains for them. It is a tournament that they've gone in a very tough group, we have to say that. And the performances have been good. They didn't get any points for those performances, but they showed that they can compete against the best in the world. And so because of that, I would then upgrade that to a D, just because they didn't get any points, but the performances were positive. And, there were players that impressed. For me, one of those players, Eustáquio, playing at a high level with Porto, but showed his class in midfield. I think his stock went up. Ismail Kone, whenever he came on, he showed for such a young man that he can play at the highest stage and not faced by, playing against the best in the world. A lot of players that can do better. I would say the front line didn't really deliver 2 goals in 3 matches. A lot of talk of Kyle Larin, Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies did get a goal, but beyond that was kind of in and out of matches. So I think the front line needs to do better, and the back line also exposed a lot of times in this tournament. So plenty of work to be done, but a D for me.
A lot of reason for the Adekubi family to celebrate. We saw Sam's mom on social media celebrating not only her son playing in the World Cup, but technically scoring a goal. What can you tell us about the Calgarian?
You know what, I'm a former left back, so I appreciate what a left back brings to a game of football. And a left-sided defender on the left flank makes the most sense to me. And for many times in a tournament, we played with those inverted wingers, we played with the wing backs who came inside. But Sam Adekubi stuck to the touchline, and that's where he got the goal. He got the cross in, a deflection, and with other players in the tournament that played on that left side, they would cut it and try and get a shot, but the dangerous cross into the area ended up being a goal. I think he did well in the minutes that he's played. Obviously, he would want to play more in a World Cup, but I think more is to come from him in 2026.
Well, let's talk about 2026. What kind of foundation has been laid for Canada co-hosting that tournament? So,
a lot of questions have been asked in this tournament, and a lot of questions need to be answered in 3.5 years' time. I think tactically wise, we have been found out a little bit. John Herdman needs to answer for putting 2 players in midfield up against Croatia's 3 magical, impressive midfielders, and you're always going to be on the back foot that way. His comments in the media kind of riled up the Croatians. That is something he needs to learn. And I think, just in general, Canada needs to look beyond CONCACAF. It's no point saying we are better than the US, we're better than Mexico. On the world stage, the US made it to the knockout stages. So we now have that bar, the mark, the young players coming up know what it's all about, and I think that sets the tone for 2026.
Prediction for the winner?
A lot of surprises in this tournament, so it's very difficult to say. I'm sticking to my gut. I said Brazil before the tournament, I'm still sticking with them now.
It all starts this weekend, the knockout stage at the World Cup.